It's too close. Hello, Edmond. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's fun to do these lives because then I can express a little bit more than I usually do with the edited versions. So I'm glad you made it this time. I'm just gonna wait a little bit for to see if other people are going to arrive as well. Well, before while we are waiting, if you wanna share like how was your life, your life, your Trecena, your past Trecena. Challenging one, but good in general. I'm gonna be waiting a few minutes until I see the others. More people are going to join. Yeah, yeah, it happens. But the good thing about seeing the Trecenas, because every time we have a challenger one, like there is always another one like that gives us a sense to restart that we can bounce back again. And and avoid spending more time like suffering with a situation. Of course, everything has like a different rhythm that's going to bring healing and everything else. But in general, like the seeing Trecenas, it helps us to speed up a little bit this process because makes like our actions, like our experience more intuitive if we just keep like like just observe. So yeah, it's a great thing. I think I'm gonna wait until like 5 minutes for a start because otherwise, as I cannot edit the video after I post it, otherwise it's gonna be like too much space for the video length. And by the way, uh, if you would like to follow the Trecenas with me, you can go to my website. I'm gonna write down that for you. Living in it's the first time I do live using my phone. Let me see if I can to pin a message so you can access my website. Uh, I don't know how can I write here with my phone. Well, I don't know how to do in here, but if you use like to go to my website to see the Trecena graphics, go to mayadaykeeper.me, M-E, and then in there you're gonna have a tab called calculator. If you just search for for tomorrow, you're gonna see already the full structure of the Trecena. Hey Douglas, nice to see you here. Is this time good for you? Like this, if I make this the live like during this time in your time zone, is it sound like it is? Hello, everyone arriving. So I repeat, I will start doing the analysis. Oh, cool. So I will start doing the analysis, and if you would like to follow me, like the seeing the graphics, you can go to mayadaykeeper.me. I would write that for you to click, but I don't know how to do that from my phone. But if you just finished the Oshlahuker, the 13-year Trecena. In the past Trecena, we spoke about the accumulation of strength. We would accumulate strength to be able to inject force into something. So was the Trecena they spoke about not just physical strength, but also spiritual strength. Like Ker is the now of the altar where we do like our prayers, we do like our offerings in order to achieve more strength. If we're just dealing with spirituality, if we're dealing with the community, to inject that in the battle that we're about to face, in the challenges we're about to go through. So was it just like every time when we feel weak about something we are doing in our lives, we always need that time to recover the strength. So we are able to go into the dynamics of life again. So Kerr Trecena was a Trecena to achieve stability, to be able to control the flow. Of course, sometimes if we try to accumulate more strength than what we can carry, that would be like hard to control the flow later, especially because of the now emosh, the now water. And depending on how things went in the past Trecena, Junajpu, the 13 conqueror sun Trecena, that starts in 1Qanil and it's going to accumulate until the seed becomes a flower. This Trecena, it can be associated with the Popol Vuh. I don't know if you guys are really familiar with the Popol Vuh, the sacred book from the Quiche Maya people. That tells the story of the hero twins, Junajpu and Xibalanque, that needs to go down to the underworld to face the lords of the Shibala, so they can rise up again like as the heroes and then become the sun and the moon. So in the Popol Vuh, when they talk about like the hero twins going to the underground to face the lords of darkness, then to rise up again, they are actually talking about the journey of the seed that needs to go to the underground, the darkness there, to fight to get all the nutrients so it can rise up as a flower, to shine, to attract. So it talks about this kind of battle when we need to face darkness. Especially because in the Popol Vuh, we know we talk about the corn, and the corn is a huge thing in the Maya culture. Like it's the main thing that kept them alive of the how's it called? I forgot the word. When you are planting, so is the main base of the culture is the corn. So this Trecena going to be talking about like this metaphor of the seed that needs to go to the underground to rise up as a flower. So that's why this Trecena is going to be talking about this big battle to overcome darkness, this big battle that we need to do to make something shine. If we are working on a project and we like are wanting to make that look good, to present to the world, or maybe we have an act or a play. So that's a Junajpu thing when you get ready for the act. But for getting ready to the act, sometimes you need to face the battle of your insecurities, like the thoughts that arrive, that can put things that can put some questions in your head whether or not you're choosing the right path, if that's really what you want to do. So this Trecena are going to be talking about this battle to rise up, to attract. That's why we accumulate strength so we can use in this road, in this battle, on our favor. Junajpu talks also about honoring the ancestors. So can be like the big honor that we're going to be doing for the ancestors, the deceased ancestors, to appreciate for everything they they gave us. And so in this Trecena, we're going to be starting with 1Qanil, one seed. All the strength will be accumulated in care. Now we're going to be injected on the seed. So the seed can have like that injection of force to be able to grow, to overcome the darkness and become the flower. So 1Qanil, one is the spring, is the beginning. And Qanil is the potential of something to germinate, but it needs a complement. Otherwise, nothing will come out from the seed. It's just that potential of becoming something or bringing like your abundance. So it's the new seeds that we're going to be starting planting on earth in hope to get a bigger abundance whenever like 240 days pass by until we see 1Qanil becomes 13Qanil. So right now it's going to be starting this journey of the seed. It's going to be this big battle that Junajpu is pushing forward over there, like in the end of the Trecena. So we're going to need complements to make the seed germinate. So we're going to be needing like the heat of the sun. We need something else to start, getting that fertility, to put that fertility in action. So 1Qanil can talk about this new potential. So we're going to be injecting all the strength. But if things went sideways in the past Trecena, if it was a tough Trecena for you, and you felt like you didn't accumulate enough balance, or maybe the water got polluted, because we spoke about the Nawal, we had in our Mosh, things that can pollute the water. So then you're going to be injecting like a polluted water in the seed, which can cause the seed to rotten or get intoxicated. And that's something that we need to avoid in this Trecena, like to let the intoxication burn everything by the end, like to stop the process of the seed becoming a flower. So it's a days to start to dose like all the strength we accumulate, so we can have enough resources for the rest of the battle, for the rest of this course we're going to be following this Trecena. So 1Qanil is already to analyze this new fertility, to see what kind of complements you need in order to germinate, to develop. So it's going to be finding like the right complement that will help you grow, to help you mature, or to help you prepare, having more ideas to germinate about the stuff that you like to bring into the world. But if we follow from the intoxication side, in this Trecena de Junajpu that talks about the glow, sometimes we can end up coming to, if everything works for us, like we feel like we can do everything. Junajpu enters to the realm of self-pride. You got polluted by your own image, or maybe you're just seeing an illusion, what Junajpu can also talks about. And that can end up becoming the traitor. So Junajpu can represent the one that's got corrupt and become the traitor. But it always starts with an intoxication, maybe an intoxication inside of us that could grow to that. So that's the cold side of the Trecena, and that we would like to avoid that. We'd like just to keep the flow that we got in the past Trecena to use for this one, so we can face the battle with our feet on the floor, already bear in mind like what's going to come next, so we can get prepared. So it always starts on how we're going to treat the seed that we're going to be planting in 1Qanil. And then we're going to move to Kib Tor, to ascending fire. Now 2 is the now of the retraction, just like when the Mayas see the time, we just picture a snake, is where you pull back before moving forward, for you to accumulate, for you to calculate like how much strength you need to go forward. Maybe you ain't got too much strength on the 1, so 2 you retract to recharge before moving forward. And now Tor is the now of the ascending fire, is the sacrifices that we do to achieve power, to get or to succeed in something. But it's something related to us. If you are talking this Trecena about this big battle to overcome darkness, we're going to be needing to calculate the sacrifices we are willing to do to go through this battle. Because sometimes if we don't calculate well, we could ended up, just taking a road of our path we won't be able to handle. So maybe the sacrifice, all this effort can burn ourselves. That can just getting something already manifesting in our body. If we start intoxicated, if we don't treat that well, that can start, just becoming rising up as a sickness that talks about. Talks about also about the blood, like as our vital energy, like just giving our blood to achieve something. But we need to do a good calculation. We need to make sure the battles we would like to face, like make sure like we know the battles like we are more likely to win. Sometimes we don't need to put like too much effort. Sometimes we just need to follow like the easier path, so we can keep things in the control, depending on what we are dealing with. So Kiptoch is going to be this time to calculate the sacrifices you're gonna need to make sure like you won't sacrifice your health in order to achieve that. It's like now Toch represents when you take that you think you can handle, but then later it starts just giving a headache, start messing with your mental health, your spiritual health, and then you can become sick. Just like when you try to buy something with many installments, but then some that is a complication at the end, like you don't have money and you need to do everything you can to solve this problem. But at the end, after you pay, like everything you have to do, all the sacrifices, it's yours. Everything that costs you, it costs you that, but it's at the end, it's gonna be yours. So it's about to calculate the sacrifices you are willing to do for this battle. And I'm seeing the questions you users send me, but I'm gonna reply that on the end after I finish with the analysis, okay? And then we're gonna move from Keptoch to Oshib Tz'i, 3 dog. Now 3 is the water opening the path, is the water that enters to divergence to overcome a barrier. It's something like that cannot be stopped. Now they're already recharged, we know the sacrifice, so now we can open the path for the emotions. Or you can also call the 3 Tz'i the divergence of the emotions. Now Tz'i is the now of the emotions, is the now of the companion, is now of the loyalty. So in this road, if we're ready to achieve, to overcome our fears, to overcome darkness, it's good to have the people we trust by our sides. Just like Oshib Tz'i is going to be talking about opening the path with the people you trust, with the people you can fall back on. Like if you just feel like any questions, like you're started doubting yourself along this path, Oshib Tz'i is the day that you need to remind to keep the ones that you trust by your side, so they can keep you courage to this path. But Oshib Tz'i can also talk about like the emotional insecurities that we can go through. We already decided the battle we like to do, but it's one thing is when we think about that. Another thing is when we have to give already like the first step towards that, like we feel insecure, just like when we talk about the Junajpu being the warrior that needs to go through the battle. The warrior has fears, but he needs to overcome that. We are gonna go through this, no matter like how complicated or sometimes how simple something sounds, there is always gonna be a thought that may come in a way and makes us feel insecure, then they kind of mask our emotions. So that's the complicated thing in this Trecena, because we're gonna be divergent emotions. Just like you decided to do something and then suddenly you think you cannot do it. So you already move the course to try to escape that, to try to find something easier. It's like when you try to escape something that you are afraid of facing. So Tz'i can talk about that, like these emotional insecurities that can diverge you, that can take you away from the path you need to walk, the path you accumulated strength to continue in this one. So it can also talk to when we feel better about ourselves, or in a way you feel like punishing yourself that's when Tz'i talks about the dirty, like the dirt when or the chaos in the body. When you use sex to escape something, you don't want to think about that. So it's usually, yeah, it's using, you know, like sexual excuses for not doing something or for not following the path. And that can what triggers the corruption side of the Tz'i, what can corrupt the course of the Trecena. Maybe the spring started clean, but the spring can get polluted, like when it's opening the path. So Tz'i, with these insecurities, talks about what can be tricky in this Trecena, to keep your emotions in order, to keep your focus on the things you gotta do to face the battles, to not try to avoid them. You already accumulated strength. So Tz'i will talk about these insecurities that can diverge the way you're opening the path. That, yeah, it's back again. Now 4 is now that stops, or it's something is just becoming stationary for a few moments. Just like you have the waterfall, like now 3, that goes to a pool of water and it's waiting until it gets full. It's containing the water. That's now 4. Just like the dam, like the huge place, like a huge container of water. So what we can represent what is slowly getting more volume. And that can accumulate like the ideas, like the threads that we are pulling for going to this path. Now Bat talks about putting things into order, talks about the interconnection of ideas, the node of work, talks about putting things in action, and it's the now of time. So Kahibats can be the establishment of the time, or the establishment of to put things in order. If you feel like everything diverges too much in Oshib Tz'i, in 3 dog, Kahibats 4 monkey can be in a place where you can stop a little bit, can pause to put things in order, to resolve all your self-doubts, everything that you need to do. Is a day for you to water yourself with the strength you accumulate in the past Trecena to solve that. Can be the establishment of to create something of our creativity, a day that you can stop to start, you know, bringing more ideas to see what kind of beauty you want to bring into this Trecena. If you look at the glow aspects of Junajpu, or making something shine, or to present to the world, Kahibatu can be an amazing day to work on that, to bring all those ideas together, see how they interconnect, make the biggest creation. But if you are just facing like something that's more challenging in this Trecena or in your life, Kahibats can be the day where you can start to put things in order, you know, to make sure you're walking like with no fear, that you have the things under your control. So Kahibats is a day for that, to solve all of those things, to avoid implode before, you know, you walk the entire battle. And then we move to Hob E5 Pathfinder. Now 5 is the now of the breakthrough, is the now of the overflow of the Trecena, is the rough. Like when the pool of water gets full, the water is gonna surpass no matter what is blocking or is containing that, so there is no containment. And now we're talking about the road of life, the road of our purposes, the spiritual road, like talks about when we face the road to advance, whether advance is going backwards. So Hob A is going to be talking about this rough path that we started, like as this Trecena talks about fears and the way we need we're going to accumulate stuff. Hob A is going to be talking about when you need to walk the path, like you just get like overflow, you get like something pushes you forward, you have no control, so you keep advancing in a direction that sometimes you do not choose. Sometimes, depending on how emotions are affecting you in this Trecena, could be also a very auspicious day, you know, if you already have your creation in mind or something you'd like to premiere to the world, to give like the extra flow, you put like an extra energy to make that shine, you know, to make that and to set that in the direction that you like to, how you want that to look. But could be, if you have no control or if you lost control, can be what brings melancholy, or it's going to be adding to this cold side of the Trecena. Now, E talks about when you question too much, where do you like to go? So you don't know in what to rely. You don't know like if you still have that meaning that you had like in the day before. So it's a day where you need to ponder, to question the meanings, why you're doing that, or to settle like what that really represents to you, like what all this battle you're facing, like you enter, is going to represent in your life. So it's a day for you to set maybe the direction you're gonna go, like the real role that you're gonna be facing this battle. And then we move to Waqib Ah, 6 transformation. Now 6 is the now to ponder, is the heart of the Trecena, is where you can weight stuff in this Trecena. Junajpu, we are talking about this battle to overcome darkness. Sometimes we already set the road we would like to walk, but there is always, after we fantasize our stuff we play in our heads, we need to be constant on doing that. Sometimes there are changes that comes in a way that we need to stop that, to correct that stuff, things we haven't imagined, because sometimes we just picture like the glow of that stuff. But to make time, we need to go through a lot of transformation. It's a lot of processes to make that work, that can lead you to be frustrated. Like everything that you've been working, that like all the process to get into that result can be hard sometimes. So and always after the battle, there is always something that is going to be continuing that. So now I'm going to be talking about these great sensations, like these great feelings that we don't want to touch that, but they are necessary. Like the changes you cannot avoid. So 6 is going to be to ponder the transformations, to ponder the changes you like to add in this battle. Because sometimes you already have something nice going on, but you like to add more stuff, to transform more, to add more changes that can mess up the final. You can already get lost in those ideas. So it's a day to ponder, but also a day to ponder what is incomplete. Because we started just in 1Qanil talking about that the seed needs a complement to become the flower. So Waqib Ah 6 transformation is going to be pondered, for you, is a day to ponder what is incomplete, what is missing for you to have like a good development of this flower. So it's gonna be the time to ponder, what you're gonna need, if you need any changes during the process. So it's a day to acknowledge that the stuff that you're gonna be doing. Now, talks is also connected to the lineage. If in this Trecena we're talking about honoring the ancestors, 6 is going to be talking about to ponder about your lineage. It's the heart of your generation. So it's a day that adds to these ancestral aspects of this Trecena. And then we move to Ukub Ishvalam, 7 female Jaguar. Now 7 is the hottest part of the Trecena, the climax. It represents the hot water, like the lava or the geyser. So it's to talk about the most intense part of the Trecena. So here we already know where the Trecena is accumulating. Like we're just gonna be adding more stuff into that. So it's not gonna be changing much. It's just only gonna be getting bigger and bigger. But you know what kind of development you need. So we're going to be talking about like this climax of this Trecena. And Ishvalam, the Jaguar, talks about the planet Earth that is in constantly development, making the magic of when the sea goes to the underground to make it rise up. The Ish has this magic of making something grow, of materializing something. Is the now of the material. And so it talks about this development that the earth is constantly doing. So it's the pregnant mother just giving birth to all my immaterializing stuff all the time. And that's going to be talking about the magic that this Trecena needs, the magic of the earth to make the seed germinate and to become a flower. If you are feeding that, like we are nurturing that very well with the strength we accumulate in the past Trecena, we're going to be seeing this development going, like we are able to face the darkness. Also, Ishvalan represents the midnight realm, like because the realm like is the territory of the Jaguar. So it represents like this intense darkness that you're going to be having to face to overcome your fears. And but Ish is something that you need to work, like the work that you do to develop that. So like it's about being curious and it's about being brave to explore. We go just like the Jaguar that's gonna roam the surroundings to see what is going on, before attacking. But it's never gonna attack forward. It's always go. I forgot the name in English right now when it goes to the side. So it's from that angle, and so it's gonna be talking about what is gonna be really developing over there, like the development of your bravery, or also the resources that you accumulate in this Trecena. If we are planting the seeds to collect abundance, so Ishvalam is going to be talking about the final resources that you're going to be getting. Maybe you could, want to put something to the world to shine, so that it could be about your business. So that's going to attract it, that it's going to make you having more resources. Maybe it could be the goal of your entering into this battle, or is to making something shine to attract, and so you can accumulate, can be good for some of your business. So that's what Ishvalam talks about. And then we move to Washakib Tz'ikin, 8 ego. Now 8 is the return of the Trecena. Now the Trecena restarts. So, but we are going to be starting more prepared because we already walk the first part of the Trecena. We know already what kind of path this road is going to take us, what is going to need to continue this development going. So now we just can go there and be straightforward, just keep the focus. So 8 ego is going to be the return of the focus or the straightforward actions, or the actions for engender something. Tz'ikin also represents the midday sun, when the sun is shining over there, like just giving the irradiation that feeds the seed, that helps with the development. So it's a complementary action that the seed needs, also needs this heat of the sun. So it's what's going to be helping the seed to germinate, to keep its development. So we're going to be talking about these straightforward actions that we need to add into our path, or maybe the money you need to invest to make that something grow. It's going to be or when you can use the resources that you got in Ishvalam, the Jaguar, to apply right now. So when you're going to spend that. So you need to be focused. If you get distracted, you're gonna you're gonna be misuse the resources you got so much effort to accumulate. So you need to keep your focus on the battle you gotta face. Because if you got disturbed about maybe some thoughts, maybe those emotional insecurities that Trecena can bring, that can that could add to the cold side of this Trecena. Or when you start getting the false glow, or like seeing gold where there is nothing over there, or you can start just feeding the fear that can grow in this Trecena. So Washakib Tz'ikin is a day to return to be focused if you are not. And just like it's the heat that you need, just like in the beginning of the Trecena, we went to Cape Tor to ascend fire. You need to calculate enough, like the sacrifice or the heat of the bonfire is going to make could burn yourself, as well as I said, or just like in blind you should just look at the midday sun. So it's something to bear in mind if you are not just overlooking something during this road we are walking. And then we're going to move to Belaer Ajmaq, 9 complementarity. Now 9 is the now of the private, is the now of the what is hidden from sight, just like the rivers, they are inside of a cave, or in the underground, like the cold water, something that is running over there but no one is seeing, it's gestating over there, but it's cold, like it's a cold gestation. And Ajmaq is the now of combining the complementary opposites, just like the female Jaguar and the male eagle. So you can combine them to get something out of it, something new from it. As also is connected to the cycle of the ancestors, like the new, like the grandparents and the newborn, that keeps that. But Ajmaq in Quiche means the one that walks in darkness, like when you don't know where you are going, like you're just hitting the wall because you're blind about something. Just like when we fall in love, like you have like that explosion in emotions, or when you fall in love with some idea that you had, like you are mesmerized. So you're just seeing that, like only that angle, maybe only you can see that, and then you start walking, not knowing where you're going. So talks about when you start getting blind by that. You look at the sun that you cannot see. So it takes a few moments for you to start seeing straight again. So that's what makes you likely to commit mistakes. So it's an hour of forgiveness that you can talk about, but it's more about, just making right for the wrongs you did unintentionally sometimes. Or you just need to let go of something. If this just is talking about like the accumulation of fears, sometimes we need to let go of the stuff that got us traumatized or something that made us hurt. So Belai Ahmak is the day to let go of this stuff that you got really inside of you, that is not letting you move forward, it's not having you to achieve the glow you want, it's not allowing you to achieve like the glory of this battle of Junajpu, to overcome your fears. So just look back at you, maybe analyze, maybe there was a mistake. Could be a good day to recognize that, and try to make up, yeah, if that's the case. Or a day where you can do like the intent to see who is exactly like your good complementary for this battle. See who are the ones that can really help you move forward with this. Like we already opened the path with the loyal ones to see like the people we got by our sides. But Hamak, we need to make sure we are choosing the right people. Like if you are not just mixing with some people that can brings us trouble, that can become the traitor later because we trust them. So Ahmak is going to be talking about that. Just go inside to see maybe the mistakes you made, or to see the people that you feel is going to be complementing you in this Trecena for walking this path. Or it could be a day to let go of the stuff you are holding back, maybe these emotions, or a day maybe if you see that someone is acting like a traitor next to you, or even yourself, if you just feel like you're betraying yourself, like the things you promised sometime, or maybe you forgot because you got mesmerized about something. Could be a day to acknowledge that and try to act in congruence again, to put your feet on the floor. And then we're gonna move to Lauch Naor, 10 thoughts, or 10 knowledge. Now 10 is an hour of the convergence, is where many rivers meet in one place, or many sources of water go into one place. And it's an hour that we can talk about teamwork, like the collaborations, collaboration work. And now is the now of the thoughts, of the plans, the organization, the everything we do to keep things. We can synthesize that. So it can be a good day to work with others, to planify, to see if we are walking like the good road, like if the stuff where we are trying to make it shine in this Trecena or to make it glow is going to have a direction after that, after this big battle. So Lauch Nor is a day to converge all those ideas and form a plan. And maybe you could ask the help of the others, or a specialist in the area you're walking. So Lauch Nor can be a great day for that. But if in the beginning of the Trecena we open the path with the insecurities with Nawal dog, like the emotions diverge into so many places, they can arrive into this convergence as a way that can inflammate yourself. You become overthinking, or maybe you're just start giving up of this road because you feed already too many negative thoughts of the insecurities that arrived. So are not allowing you to progress, or they're about to explode. So it's a good day to planify, to put things in order, to see like that you can walk straight into that, so you won't let that emotion. So now, Laur, 10 thoughts can be a great day for you to that. Like if you feel lost, you can ask, help of the others to organize stuff so you can continue on this road. There's don't know how you're gonna maybe sell the stuff that you are doing, the road, or if you need to face something. Like if you make that more clear for you, maybe those insecurities that open the path, they can, they can walk out, or they can go with the wind. And then we're gonna move to Hulaur Tijax 11 cut. Now 11 is now of the spread that goes to multiple directions, but is not very strong sometimes. Is now that mirrors the strength of the nominal accompanying that. Can be talking about what's going to be spreading as well, or is going to be diluting. And Tijax is the now of the healing, is the now of the cut, of the incision, is the words that heal, is the words that cut. So 11 Tijax can be a good day for you to spread the communication, like a good day for announcing that something is coming. So you're going to be spreading the word that's going to be adding to the glow. Or maybe you want to prepare some people for something that is coming, that's going to be Junajpu. So we start telling the stories. 11 Tijax could be associated like on how you marketing stuff, like how you're going to be using the communication, like how you're going to be using the words to attract something. But if you're talking about into the realm like of facing something or developing something that you need to cut a fear, 11 Tijax is going to be the now where you can do a self-healing or can look for healing if you couldn't resolve that with the previous novels. Is a day for let everything, to wash out everything, to remove what is negative, what is not adding into the things that we are doing. So it's a day to free yourself from what is hurting you. So, and also could be a day where you could confront the mirror to squeeze that, like to dilute all of these sensations. Because sometimes, as I said, like we just buy the ideas of our emotional insecurities, that sometimes we need to look at the mirror to remember like there is nothing on that, or that we need to walk like as a way of healing or me. Now 12 is the now of the unexpected. It talks about the gift, like when the now 5 overflows, the 12 can bring like the outcome. Could be a gift, could be like a new forest growing, but could be a disaster, like the complete destruction. So it comes as a hidden balance of what already happened to the Trecena. Because remember, the world is always in balance. Nature only compensates that. So that's the nature of 12, to compensate that. But sometimes we don't really see that compensating at the time, because it could be just, growing like out from our sides. So 12, is maybe when that sun appears in front of you, and you're surprised about that. In Kawuq, we talk about the intuition, the big intuition. Intuition is like a non-solicited information. Like it's something that you just pick in the air. It's just like the bright, just like the sheet lightning. You only see like the reflection of the lightning over there. Maybe you did not see the lightning, but you see the light in there. Just like when something gets clear in front of you. So that's the realm of Kawuq. So Kawuq is going to give you information whether you want that or not. Especially if you are walk in a battle. So maybe it's gonna bring something that your insecurities are talking about inside your head. So Kawuq can enter into the realm of the gossips. If you are talking this road of overcoming our fears, of trying to triumph at the end of something that we are doing, of course there are the weird times, like they don't want us to succeed. Sometimes they try to bring us or just to feed us with insecurities or things to worry. Sometimes can be something that's good for us to have like or not falling so hard into that. But sometimes could be something that can be buzzing over there and that can, add into the fears you already feel to walk a path. So can be also a battle, to overcome like the way you care about what others think about you or what other people gossip about you. So it's our day to use the focus that we start in this Trecena to try to attract, like the good intuition, like something that can, light up a path that we are walking. That's something that we need to really worry about that, and not like feeding the stuff that can add or that can bring more gossips or can put you more trouble-headed, like trouble inside of you, or more adding more darkness into that. So it's a day to use, like the clarity of the shit lightning, so you can see the path, so it won't be the dark for you anymore. So it's a day for you to listen to the voice that's gonna guide you, beyond the stuff that you are thinking. So you should trust that big intuition that's gonna light up the path for you. Of the accumulation. The accumulated so far that started in 1Qanil, one seed, that went through all of this process of development. For now, you see this big battle for glory, this big battle to make something shine. We talk about, when you see after you walk this, that you already could maybe overcome your insecurities. You already know like the path that you need to, like the steps that you gotta do to make like the path clear for you, or all the process of transformation, like it requires to bring something to shine to the world. Everything is a process, so we need to understand how this, like the more you understand this process, the less scary they're gonna become, like the less you're gonna feel that we are walking in darkness. So Junajpu can be the day of your big battle, or the day where you rise up to shine, is ready to premiere to the world. It can be the big act. It can be a day where you can already, show to the world everything you're working for, like like the beauty of your creation. So Junajpu, you talk about this glow that you're accumulating through all of this process. But also, if depending on how things go, it can also show you like your biggest fear, or show you that you got corrupt in the way of making something to shine, and you fall into this self pride, into falling in love too much with the things that we're doing, that it could be seen like a false glow, something that is going to be developing over there. It's just like seeing a mirage. For example, if we lose the potential of something to germinate, and then we're gonna get in like boring, warring on the ishvalam, when the land lose all the fertility. So maybe you're gonna be seeing like a mirage over there, like you when you could be a no. It also talks about the traitor when we got betrayed by our own emotional confusion, our own the own ideas we feed in your heads that maybe could not be adding into this path. So that's the big battle we are talking about. This big battle to overcome our insecurities, to continue on the path, to continue going. Of course, like we always want to chill after we present something to the world, like we put all our energies over that. But there is always another mountain we need to call Sky. He wins the battle of the darkness. He goes down and needs to face another battle again, and there he goes. All of this process, and in this way we finish like the analysis of this Trecena, and then for the next it's gonna be the the transformation Trecena. And now I'm gonna be reading the comments you all left. I know you wrote me something, and if you have questions right now, you can ask there in the chat. Let me see. Good night. I have a Tijax friend, very angry. Yeah, Tijax people need to be careful how you're gonna provoke them. Like they got like the hurting words, like they are these sharp words. You see, Tijax friend too. About the Tijax, of course, every case is a different case. We cannot generalize stuff because there are many other novels that can be influentiating that. But Tijax people tend to be very, very fragile people. It's something that, like they break easily. That's why, like the reflection, they can be hard with words. Like they can be harsh. But usually they just do that because they want to protect themselves. So they try to stay out of trouble, but it's kind of hard for them. Because Tijax is just like when you are holding a blade, but if you don't hurt the other, you're going to be hurting yourself. Like it's double edge. So you see people seem very fragile, like they break easily with things that you say, or they're gonna be trying to fight back. And let's see if that connects. Let's live again. Yeah, Junajpu. We talk about it's about the hero twins, Junajpu and Xbalanque, like the hero twins that need to go down to the underworld to face the lords of the Xibalba and to rise up again. So it's the picture of the warrior. Just like when we see the sun going down the horizon, is the sun going down to face, is going down to the realm of the Xibalba. Is that metaphor? So they're gonna be to rise up again, like darkness, to find that is a way through for the glory until he's in the top of the sky again, until he becomes the king, the midday sun. There is a thing with Junajpu. Junajpu we associate as a feminine novel, but we're talking about the sun that is fighting, is still developing to rise up. So we talk about this female process. But Tz'ikin is also associated with the sun, but it's the midday sun, is already that is over there in the top, irradiating over there, is already the one that conquer the battle, like it's the one that's shining over there. But that becomes a masculine novel that's gonna be the heat that's gonna feed everything else. It's gonna continue, giving energy for the family to continue developing. But yeah, it's the warrior from the Maya. So let me see if I have more questions in here. So if you have a question, you can leave here. It can be about anything. It doesn't need to be about the Trecena. If there is something that you didn't understand about the Trecena, you can let me know. Is Qanil a good day to start a relationship? It depends. It depends on the number. It depends on the people. But the things we Qanil, like if you feel like that it's gonna be like a good complement, like if you choose like a forward now, for example, now 3 or ship Qanil, could be a good day, to start that. But you need to know that is always going to be something in need of the Trecena. It's always going to be a complement. So you're always going to be needing nurturing that if you decide to start that. So every now has a good potential. There is no such thing as a bad day or a good day, but it could be like it all depends on how you're gonna be doing, how you're gonna be following the flow of the now that you chose. So can you could be depending on the number, yeah, could be. Depends also of the story, depends on your novels. It could not be a good day if your novels works like against that, or maybe if the story of both of you started messy, because then the next step of Canil is Tor, like when, well, to be more specific. Yeah. Past Trecena was a tough one for me. Tenet, I felt a huge melancholy. It was hard for me. Was wondering if that means something in the calendar. Well, if you felt that in Lauch Cat in 10 net burning into a weight that you are not able to continue with the flow. So everything that happens in Lauch Cat is being pushed by Hob E, 10 5 pathfinder. So the melancholy comes from that. So if you do not empty your bag, you do not let go of the stuff that you don't need, it could be something related to the family or of your or like a social thing that you accumulated, or things that work like that you're not handling. So that could be adding to the bag that becomes heavy, that burns you out, that could advance and becomes like a melancholy. You're just feeling dragged to a path like that you're not trying to have a control on that. So that's something that we can acknowledge seeing on the on Lau Cat. Of course, depends on other things, but according to what you said, that you felt like this huge melancholy. So if you analyze that like out of code, uh, that's what represents. Do we always jump to the next day after the day took place after the sunset? Mentioning birth now. When you talk about birth, like when you see the nows, we days really start that I talk about, but that really goes into the dominance between the nows. Some nows they start earlier, and some other nows starts after the sunset. But when we talk about birth nows, we always need to go to pregnancy, because every single now is going to be a repercussion of the pregnancy moment. So we need to understand what happened during pregnancy to see what result to for the baby, or for you to choose to be born during that day. Of course, there are things that can enter into play. For example, if it was a natural delivery or if it was a cesarean. Depends on the reason of if it was a cesarean, like what was the reason that the intervention was necessary. But if you are trying to look that, you can follow and you don't know that, you can use the sunset rule to see. What is tricky whenever we are analyzing people is people like that usually are born around like 7 o'clock or in the middle of the sunset. So of course pregnancy always will dictate like the now of the person, but for you to have an idea of the now, it's good to use this sunset rule. Um, that was exactly what I was going through. Are you open for readings? Yes, I do. In my website, mayadekeeper.me, there is a section there for personal sessions that you can book the type of reading that you feel more related to. If it's for relationships, for business, if you like a reading of the path for analyzing all the novels. Yeah, it's on my page. Then you can book there. Who's stronger, Junajpu or Spelunky? There is no way to know. Like they are not competing against each other. Like they are like the sun and the moon. There is no way to compare that. Um, let's see if I missed any question. Mm, Edmond, how does it work? If you uh, if you're referring to like the consultation that you asked, uh, the first that we call the healing of the path, like which would usually people book the most, like for having a reading, as to say, we're gonna be analyzing the main three novels, the three faces that we call. So his birth novel is gonna be ruler of the Trecena and the mom. Of course, there are many other novels that we will explain, that will make sense of the voices that you listen to your head. Like, how do you think when you have is to explain, like it's a general understanding of these forces. There is also in my website the reading of the path full, where I break down in 4 sessions everything you need to know. So then we go beyond these three phases to understand this entire system, to understand all of this process of all these nows, how they communicate with you, like how can you know like when a now is in action, when the other one is not, and also how to look at your personal counting. That is the day-to-day counting, like the Chorkich that we follow. But each one of us, according to the pregnancy, you're going to be having like our personal counting that can sometimes identify some situations we go through. So during this fall, I can go through all of the important stuff to map, to make you understand all of this. And it's a way that I can accompany you so you can start identifying the nows inside of you. Because it's not the same with everybody, but there are some people who has like maybe all the nows in the corporation. Some people can have less, like 14 or something. Some people can have like 16 owls. So everyone is different. And that's why, when we talk about this reading, we're going to be talking about analyzing these influences of the pregnancy, because that's going to be dictating how do you behave. It's going to be explaining like, why do you act the way you act, how you choose the way you choose, why do you hide the way you hide, or like sometimes how you lose your purposes. So we will explain this stuff. Well, also, if there is something else you'd like to know, you can. The alligator is also a Maya Nawal. The alligator is connected to Nawali Mosh, but more like in the lowlands that has like this figure of the alligator, like a creature that goes out from the water, like the monster. Chica, they also use an alligator as well, like as a correspondent of Nawal Mosh. But in Quiche, we just say that it's water. So, but the alligator could be connected to, yeah, to an alligator, so Rubiri Mosh. All right. All right, perfect. I will DM you soon. Okay, I'm here to help. Any more questions, guys? If not, we can call it for today. So, no more. All right, guys. Was a pleasure. So next, oops, I'm planning on visiting my Maya friends in Solo District in Laguna, San Pedro, Antigua. I'll keep in touch. All right, Douglas. That's cool. Yeah, it's gonna be cool that do you live in Guatemala? or are you just gonna be traveling over there? San Pedro La Laguna, it's a beautiful place. If you guys have more questions. Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. So enjoy a lot the time that you're gonna be spending there with your friends. Make sure you recharge all your energies. Oh, oh, and your mother. Yeah, it's even better. And that's cool. And then the next slide, you can tell us how was your trip. And if you guys need anything, you can reach me. Yes, I can't wait also, to go back to Guatemala. And Tata Pabiantel, we are organizing with our group to make our graduation, to become my graduation as an AIR in Guatemala this year. But I'm not sure when I'm gonna be there. But whenever I'm there, like, would be really cool if you are there. We can arrange a meetup, so it'll be something cool that we can use, like this YouTube community as something to grow beyond the digital. All right, guys. So it's 1 hour and 10 of live. I must you all be tired of listening to me talking in here. So if you have any questions along the Trecena, you can use the comment section below. This live is going to be recorded. In there is a tab on YouTube that goes to the live, that keeps all the live. It doesn't mix with other videos. And so if you need anything, you can reach me on Instagram, Maya the Keeper. And if you need that's it. I wish you all a lovely Trecena ahead, and see you all in our next live.